Oh, it says we're live. Hello. So, I'm playing with the MMU2 again. Uh, Doing a simpler print where it's just color changes on layers. And camera, come on. That way, maybe. There we go. So I've done multiple cold pulls on the nozzle, but I'm getting some kind of clogging. And I've got the temperature cranked all the way up to 234 degrees on PLA. And we'll see if it'll print. Maybe we can burn out whatever's in there. Hopefully I did not get a chunk of PTFE down in there, knock something loose, but you'd think that a bunch of cold pulls would have pulled it out and gotten rid of it. But I may end up, if this doesn't work, I'll pull the nozzle off and do a purge through with just a bunch of plastic, and then take a look at the nozzle and heat it up with a torch. Or swap nozzles. I got spare nozzles. So this is the second cut. Well, no, it started with gray. It's gone to white. It's going to print a couple layers of white, and then it'll switch back to gray again. Why are you being so shy? Oh, today. Just stay focused right there. But because I'm in the background, got my coffee. Oh, hey, whatever, Anchor. Well, so since the camera's misbehaving, I'm going to pull it up here. So I'll show you what I've done. So I got rid of the spool holder racks. I've just got the PTFE tubes, pulling straight off the spools with a little wiper, just to try and keep gunk from going down in there since I'm having clogging issues. I've run my acupuncture needle up in there and bent the crap out of it. But and that's not looped, it's just in front of the spool. Anyway, spools roll much easier on an axle type setup. So doing that to try and get rid of the friction on the filament, and load unloads fine. I'm having clogging at the nozzle and getting inconsistent extrusions is the problem I'm having today. So I think all my mechanical tuning with the MMU2 has worked. Obviously, I'll fix up some better spool holder method. But if it can make 6 or 8 color changes and not plug up, we'll be okay. And this is just my maker coin. The center spins and has text on the bottom. It's a tough print. I mean, it's a good torture test. Played around with doing the slicing in 3D Builder. Managed to get it, but the slices are not in exactly the right positions. I don't like, I mean, you can do the cut in Slick 3R, but when you cut the model in Slick 3R, it will keep both parts, and it doesn't necessarily have to flip the bottom part to the top because you turn that on and off. But what it does do is it separates the model and places them side by side. It won't just do a cut and keep them in their same relative positions. So 3D Builder, on the other hand, if you slice something, first of all, it wants to slice it right in the center of the model vertically. Yeah, a horizontal plane, but the starting position is at the center of the model. And so if you're making multiple slices, it would be nice if the position would be from the base of the model or the top of the model, not the center of the model, because every time I sliced it in half, cut it at the center, that's fine. But now I want to move down 3 millimeters or 3 layers, 0.6 millimeters, and it wants to put it in the center of the bottom half of what I just sliced, which is kind of annoying. And you also have to drop it by another 0.1 because where it slices is the top of the slice, not the bottom of the slice, if that makes sense. So if I wanted to slice at 2.8 millimeters, so have a print that went to 2.8 millimeters, I actually have to set the slice at 2.6 millimeters. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't slice. There's something in there that it adds or subtracts a little bit to the top or the bottom layer, and usually it's subtracting it from the top layer, I think. So you got to kind of play with the numbers to get it to put it in the right spot. Okay, so this should only be, maybe one more layer of white. It's going to fill all that in, and then it should switch back to gray. So this is just like a background for the text on the bottom. I have a layer filament change here coming up shortly. Yep. And I am running with some modified settings on the filament change. It does 3 cooling moves. It's much faster on the retracts. I've switched out the red for the gray because the red was just stringing way too much. The IC3D gray is working great. Leaves much nicer tips on it. And that's the key to getting the thing to feed back into the hot end, is have a nice clean end on the filament when it retracts and tries to refeed, or when it unloads and tries to refeed. Now we're back to gray. I was printing, first layer was at 215 and I was noticing some clogging. So I don't know what is in there. I shouldn't have to print that hot. But maybe it's a combination of the speeds. This is a fast profile. Or, the hot end temp is not bouncing around too much. I've been keeping an eye on it because this is a new cooling fan duct, and it's this old cooling fan, but it's a new fan duct. This is the new extruder body design, and I haven't done a whole lot of well, I'd done no printing with it before I added the MMU. I had the old vertical fan and fan duct on here, and it was printing fine. So that could have added another, and I'm not running with a sock on it. That could have added another complication. Changes a lot of things at one time is never good. So I probably should have run some just single color prints, but when I got the MMU2 set up, got it all put together, tested it with all 5 filaments, I had a successful 5-color print, and I thought, oh, cool, good to go. And I moved the thing from out in the garage to in here, and I don't think it's the location that caused problems. I don't think anything got misaligned in the move. Okay, let's see if it fills in, because it should just about be done with all the wonky layers. We should be getting a nice solid layer on that middle button. Still going to have some craziness of bottom top layers where the text is. Yeah, some bridging, some infill. Okay, now it's infilling that middle button. It looks like it's rocking it. It's going good. It's nice. Full coverage, no thin spots. Looks solid and nice. Purge block. Looks like the little walls that go across for it to bridge through are coming out solid. Before they were a little bit thin. Maybe it was just some gunk in the nozzle that took a while to work out. Yeah, all in butt. It says for this print, it's 1 hour and 28 minutes. And I see thin spots where it's having trouble extruding there in the middle. And I've got the extruder gears cranked down quite a ways. So maybe I did have them too tight. We'll back them off a little bit. Because, yeah, usually I like to see them just flush with the side of this extruder. See if that makes a difference. It's more consistent. Because you can have inconsistencies if they are too tight. No, it's jammed again. Feeling it. Well, it's feeding. Really. Okay. We're going to cinch them down. See what that gets us. Maybe I'll just go slice a cube. Well, more pressure definitely seems to have helped. Nope, it's still thin. It's almost like when it does the purge block, it makes a retracting move, even though it's not doing a color change, it's doing too much retraction, and it takes it too long because now it's printing good. And I was noticing that with the last firmware update, at least with this filament, that the linear advance, the K number, being set to 30, I was seeing some gaps in things. I wonder if I should change that. I have not had enough experience with the K values for linear advance to do a whole lot of tuning with that. But maybe I should redo that. Let me see what this one looks like. And that's going to kind of suck if you got to tune every single filament with all of these different parameters. That is going to make slicing for this kind of a nightmare. Yeah, it's not doing good. It's okay on the model when it gets going, but when it's doing its thing over here on the purge block, it just does not seem to be pushing out the same amount of material. And the temperature's holding real good. Not extruding at all. Nope. It's missing this layer completely. It's stuck. I don't know why. I feel it moving. So I don't know what it's doing. Okay, we're going to cancel. I'm going to go I'm going to try a single color print and let's see if we can get it working. Yeah, you can see how, I mean, it's not filled in like it's supposed to be. And this button is all crappy. Yep. Not doing good. Okay, we're going to try a single color print. Let me slice something. I'm just going to get a simple cube. I'm going to do a cold pull. And let's get that printer face up here. Okay. The stream may go down, but let's take a little print. We'll get a little cube in here. You've seen. Oh, let's do a pyramid. What the heck? That looks cool. It's 40 by 40. Sure. What the heck? Let's go save as. Okay. What's that? All right. Let's get the hot end purged to make sure it's passing stuff through there. hear Poppy Snapples, but that could just be bubbles. It's not. Okay. Turn the heater off. Let that cool down. While that's cooling, I'm going to go grab another cup of coffee. Be right back. Yeah, I know. I left you guys staring at a blank nozzle. Sorry. And apparently we're out of coffee, so I got to switch to Pepsi. All right. It's cooled down to 113. So that should be a good enough. And I mean, I'm not seeing any gunks. You can see the nozzle right there. Yeah, it's yeah, it's fine. I don't know what is going on. Maybe it is that roll of filament, but I've used that thing for It's not giving me any problems yet. It's almost down to the end of the roll, but you would not think that would cause problems. Let me just take the acupuncture needle. Heat this back up to not 255. Let's go 210. Such a hard time hitting that thing. There it is. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just to make sure. We're at 206. That's plenty. Yeah, it comes squirting right out of there. Just make sure I didn't push anything up with the needle. And it's a little stringy because I pulled it out that way, but I mean, I've done cold pulls and gotten, black crusty flecks and all sorts of stuff out of there, and I'm just not seeing that on this. All right. So, put that Bowden tube back in there. Let's slice. I'll bring your camera around here so we can. I know it's probably not close enough for you guys, but we'll go in here. Yeah, ooh, look at that. Pretty. Let's delete all. Add. Yeah. Oh, let's go back up. Downloads. Pyramid. Open. Get the right view here. I'm going to switch from MMU2 to MMU2 single, just for the heck of it. We're just going to use that, and we're going to use my filament setting. I don't want that. I want here's the PLA. $215, $210, that's fine. That's all fine. That's all fine. Infill. Speed. Doing 180. All of that sort of stuff. Okay, let's go into the filament settings. K, if printer has Bowden, 200, else 30. So we're not going to do that. Let's change this. To 20. Oh, heck. Let's change it to 10. And then we'll save this as DWR. Save that as my new filament. And that should change the K value. Yeah, and let's slice it. And put that on my card. Bah. Let's look at the preview. Yeah, layers, bah. All looks normal. Okay, export the G code. I don't want that. Cancel that. We want it to drive D. Oh, it doesn't like that. What did I do? All right, let's eject that. Plug it back in. Save that. Okay. Just minimize that. And let's try printing that sucker. Okay. What you're looking at here. Right about there. Okay, and we shouldn't have a purge block to deal with this time. Tell me the time that it's going to take. It says 58 minutes, but we'll see. All right. 55 degrees. Okay, got the Bowden back in there. Tension set. Filament's good to go. Ooh, I was going to give it a new end. Make sure that this is... Yeah, there's no grind marks or anything else on here. So it should not have a problem loading. Okay, we're going to go filament 1. Okay, filament's loaded. And, I mean, see if you can see that. Yeah, that's the end. Oops, you gotta go the right way. It came out of there. There's a little knob kind of thing, but it seems to go through the... Oh, it wants filament 1. It's hitting the Bontex. Maybe I've got some gunk down in the Bontex. No, seems to be okay. Well, we'll see how a K value of 10 works. That's a good looking first layer so far. All right. So maybe it's something else. Maybe it's some of those new settings that I did for the filament change or the purge block. I didn't change anything for the purge block, but I did do the filament change. Maybe I will put those back to where they were and we'll try it again. We'll keep an eye on this once it gets up to, so first layer it's going to go really slow, but it's doing a nice job. Maybe it's speed related. That could be. There is more drag with all these Bowden tubes, and if we're feeding faster or going too fast, maybe I need to drop the speed down a little bit of print speed. Maybe that would help. So this time, if it starts to thin out, if I notice that I'm getting thin extrusions, I'll just crank the speed down from the front panel and we'll see if that helps. Go to like 50% maybe. Okay. Temperature's going from 215 to 210. And I mean, this is quite fast for infill. It looks like it might be having some problems with the infill at that speed. I drop it down to, let's go down to about 60%. Okay. All right, that's 35%. Yeah, maybe it's just this filament doesn't like running that fast. Well, that could be part of the problem. That could definitely be part of the problem. Is it's not. It does not appear to be liking that high infill speed. Okay, well, at least we can fix that. Let's let it make another pass. We're down to 20%. I know that's way slow for the outer perimeters, but put the temperature back up to, bump it back up to 230. Just to maybe help purge that out a little bit. And my flow is back to 95. I got to go in and change that. All right, let me jump over. You guys watch that while I'm changing this. Okay. Save this. So this is one I noticed before on the other profile, is it wants to it sets my flow parameter to 95. And all right, so let's save that. So I changed that. It's in the start G code. Okay. Print settings. Set our speed. Travel at 180. We're doing perimeters at 45. Infill. At 200 is just too freaking fast. Yeah, way too fast. Okay. Plater. Preview. Reslice. Alright, I'm going to abort this. And then we'll slice it with some regular settings. Yeah. Yeah, because that's actually kind of working. All right. Okay. Take that off of there. Take that off of there. Get the right file. Okay, let's give this a new end again. Okay. A lot of farting around, and it takes hours, doesn't it? Element 1. Cranking its speed back up to 100%. It'll get there eventually, guys. That was not good. No, we got other problems. Okay. All right. Well, so much for monkeying around with that. I am going to open up the Bontex, look at them, clean them out, open up the MMU, clean it out, and hopefully I'll be back and we'll have a successful print. See you guys later.